Chapter 4, Fulfillment 4. How often have you worked your butt off and reached that milestone or that goal that you were so obsessed about? And then you woke up feeling empty, thinking, well, that was nice. And you celebrated for the night or maybe two, maybe a week, and then thought, well, what's next? So after achieving that goal, spending days, which turn into weeks, which sometimes turn into months, feeling lost, without direction, without purpose, the emptiness that can be all-encompassing and take over every aspect of your life. You then find yourself kicking another goal, something a little bit bigger this time, something harder, longer, more prestigious, thinking, maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the thing. Maybe this is the thing that's going to help me feel fulfilled and free, or feel at least something, feel something when I achieve it. Well, this was me. I mean, if you're tuning in and listening to this, it could possibly be you as well. As a total overachiever, going off to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, continuing to feel empty when you wake up in the morning and wonder, what's next? Does this sound like you? Honestly, I love working with overachievers, but one thing that is lethal to your fulfillment and longevity is this constant revolving need for more, and getting your worth and validation through your achievements. There are two types of people that we're going to talk about here. One, the type that sets goals and feels fulfilled. And two, sets goals and still feel flawed, fake, and chasing the next dopamine hit. Person one, when you're around them, you feel inspired and excited and you're wondering what's next. They have this magical, mystical way of holding you in a very present moment. And so when you leave them, you feel inspired, like you can take on the world. Person number two always feels like they're chasing something. They use force and push and hustle. It's all go, go, go. And when you're around them, you feel empty, unseen, like a chess piece in their game that gets molded into whatever shape they need you in order to do the next thing for them. I have experienced both of these at extremes, and now I know which one I would recommend for you and which one I prefer. So Fulfillment 4, my goal for you in the second part of this process with the set and get your goal is that when you're setting and getting your goals, that regardless of whether you hit it or not, that you feel safe, worthy, acknowledged, and present. And when you wake up, even on the not so good days, you wake up with a sense of gratitude, a sense of love, belonging, and fulfillment. It's not an external thing. It's not the goal that gives you the worthiness or the sense of fulfillment or the sense of freedom. It's the journey. So when you commit to a longer term goal, you'll often end with something that's been sacrificed, or you'll get to the goal at the expense of something else that is important to you. When you finally get there, it's like you celebrate for a night or two, but then you wake up and notice that your body hurts. You wake up tired and you realize that you've disconnected from your partner or your kids because you've neglected everything else, and you got your goal at the expense of everything else. Head down, bum up, working on that goal, forgetting about the other important things in life. You likely won't realize that you're doing this, but it will cause you discomfort or pain. So through this process of fine-tuning your Fulfillment 4, it is different for everybody, for each individual at different stages of their life. So what is the Fulfillment 4? What I want you to do is choose the 4 most important things in your life that you are not prepared to sacrifice to get your goals or your aligned accomplishments. My examples that I've used personally for myself at this time in my life is health, sleep, family and me time, and current clients and income. Then there's space on page 60 for you to write yours. There will be times when you need to slide or adjust your Fulfillment 4. I'm going to give you an example of that now. I have committed to completing this book in record time and having it published within, my goal was 2 months, happened in 3. I worked all day yesterday as the MC and panel speaker at the incredible inaugural Women's Wellness Festival. I was away from home from 5 a.m. until 8 p.m. on a Saturday. a day that I genuinely dedicate to my family. When I wrote this part of it, the day was Sunday and my family were going for a family day of sailing. Usually I would go because family connection and adventure time is one of my fulfillment for. However, with this new goal in place, I had dedicated the day to finishing this chapter. So I had a loving conversation with my husband, Gus, and my children, and I explained my choice and why. If I'm honest, there was a little bit of guilt creeping in, but it didn't last long because I followed this process that I'm sharing with you now. I caught it and diffused it straight away. Otherwise, you loop in guilt. Then that's the energy people feel through your creation. As a result, I've adjusted my expectation of my commitments and my values to support my goal or my aligned accomplishment. In the past, I would have either felt like I should have stayed home writing all day and felt guilty for not going with the family, or I would have gone with the family and felt guilty for not writing. So I wouldn't have given myself a way of feeling okay with the decision that I made. So you can adjust and slide your fulfillment for with awareness to ensure that when you get your goal, your aligned accomplishment, it's not at the sacrifice of the other things that are important to you, like health, family time, me time, and current commitments. So I feel great today, just as great as 9 days ago before I decided to write this book. I feel just as great right now and fulfilled and functional and happy and free as much as the day that the book lands on my doorstep, as much as the day as the book goes bestseller, and as much as the day I receive my first testimony from the woman whose life has changed because of it. I don't want my goal to be at the expense of setting the house up for the family for it to flow beautifully through the day. So sometimes that might mean I need to get up a little bit earlier, and that's okay because it's only for a certain period of time. And once again, it's done with choice and absolute awareness. It's times like this that are really powerful because then you can start to delegate things and level up your life and start to create a new normal for yourself. This is really powerful. If you work with me, you will kick massive goals very quickly, very, very quickly, because I go beyond what your brain is capable of understanding. And the first thing we do is get into alignment. We get you into alignment with your goal, your aligned accomplishment, not mine, not the community's, not your mother, your brother, your father, or your sisters. It's yours. Many of my clients are going through very similar journeys with big things that they've been saying that they're going to do for years. And it's not until they've committed to showing up and joining this community and choosing me as their coach that they're actually getting traction and getting things accomplished. And my goal for them and my goal for you is that when you get the big thing, the goal, the aligned accomplishment, that you're already feeling so deeply fulfilled and free, and you don't have to dip back into that emptiness and loneliness and uncertainty. This process is going to change your life and completely alter your sense of reality and what's possible in your life in terms of service, impact, and income. Now it's time to hear from my fellow aligned women and co-authors. We're going to kick things off by hearing from my older sister and my business partner, Michelle Ann.